Hey everyone, I'm Armor Gaming, welcome back to my channel and welcome to Monster Legends. So the date is October 9th, the change to control skills occurred yesterday, and so I finally got to play around with it, and one of the biggest claims I made was that I really don't think it's going to have that much of an impact, and for the most part, as of just one day of playing, it appears to be correct where the change isn't that impactful. Now of course this is my own unique perspective, and this is also from the perspective of someone that isn't at the very top nor at the very bottom. I actually don't know where I would rank myself. With that being said, one of the biggest points I want to get across to people is that when a change happens, instead of looking for every negative thing that you can think about the change, why not just wait for the actual change and then playtest throughout the duration of a week or two and then see whether or not you like the change, whether it was even a significant change. Because again, I really don't think this change is that big of a deal. And the change I'm talking about, for those of you that don't know, is that now when you apply possession, freeze, or stun, the monster is going to become recently stunned, recently possessed, recently frozen. Stun was always a thing. So basically, you're not going to be able to immobilize the monster with that control skill until the following turn. And so the biggest issue with this is that I've seen a lot of players saying, oh, this kills my monster's worthless, my monster's useless. And I'm like, what is going on? No, they're not. Like, they really aren't. And again, one thing is actually just conceptually thinking about what's going to happen, and another thing is actually playtesting. And from what I've seen, like, nothing really changes. Like, sure, a little things change, but for the most part, everything is pretty much going to remain the same. A lot of times, the way the games go is you have a deny monster that goes first, you immobilize, your attacker kills one or two of the enemy monsters, your third monster is there to deny again, your third monster is there to do something to the enemy. And so essentially nothing really has changed, at least from what I've seen. So here's a common team I use. Actually, instead of Ruby, it's a Sammy, but we're just gonna go ahead and use Ruby because this is one of the monsters that has lost value, immense value and whatnot, but really, like, it doesn't matter. And so this is the team I'm going to use, and let's just take on. See, now the problem is I don't know if I can be fast enough to deny, but regardless, we'll go into a battle, we'll see what happens. Typically the way battles go is if you're fast enough, and why is it ×4 speed? If you're fast enough, you go first and you get to immobilize the enemy. So actually this is perfect. This is a scenario where my monsters got possessed, so the enemy has an advantage. Let's see if this new change actually works to my favor. We'll do Ruby Explosion, see if I can land some sort of control on the enemy. I landed stun on both of the enemy monsters. That's awesome. So Ruby is now, or that's not even a Ruby, that's a bald Ruby. That's who are you? You're basic Ruby. Whatever, let's just recharge. Cool, he actually recharged. Whoa, that's weird. My monster didn't get the immune. What the heck? Why isn't my monster immune to possession? Or maybe that's, I think there was something in the updates where that's going to take a while to actually happen. I think so. Anyhow, let's see. So I can't stun and I can't stun. And this is where Ruby loses value essentially, because now I can't immobilize by stunning again. So if I do lane odds, there's a high likelihood that I won't immobilize this Zyron. And obviously I can't possess Zyron because that's the trait. So the only thing I can do now is freeze. So let me try to freeze. Ruby Implosion and Ignite Freeze. Hey, I landed the freeze. I got lucky. So let's just speed this up. Okay, let's recharge. They are not giants. Attack my own team. 1,000 forms. Confused. So see, normally, if the change to possession was actually taking place right now, my monster shouldn't have gotten possessed, especially for 2 turns, because the recent change would make it so my Rossigan would have had recently possessed. So that would have worked. This is a scenario where it would have worked in favor, even though the enemy's fast, even though I'm facing a Jazz Star that's super fast, has all these possession skills, my Rossigan should not be possessed right now. So this is where the change has advantages as well as disadvantages. So let me do Stardust. But yeah, that's a perfect scenario where I should not have gotten possessed with the recent change, which is great because from the perspective of someone who doesn't have the best runes, the best monsters, going up against high level players, I can use that to my advantage. If I'm facing a Frostbite who I know has a lot of freeze skills, I know at best he can freeze me 1 turn and then I'll have a turn to react. So I actually do like the change. Right now I like the change. I like change. I like how it changes your strategy. And again, one of the biggest things I want to draw out to people is that when a change happens, don't be so fast to complain. Just give it a try. See if you like it or if you don't like it. But overall, this battle actually wasn't initially what I wanted to showcase. So let me just finish this battle really quickly. Yeah, I shouldn't be possessed right now. Why am I possessed? Alright, there we go. So successful battle. What I wanted to show, and maybe I'm going to have to go to my baby account because I'm out of attacks here. Well, actually, I do have pre-recorded attacks because I tried making this video and I was like, nah, I'm not gonna make this video, it's too quick. But then I got on Facebook and I'm like, oh yeah, I need to make this video. But anyhow, let's just move on to my baby account. Baby account, baby account. Alright, so here's one. And so this is the team I'm going to be using. Baba Yaga, Barakor, and a treachery monster that has team speed, who can also do some other form of denial, in his case total blind. So Baba Yaga is there for the possession, Baylor is there to go last and do total blind, Barakor is my attacker. And I'm going to attack my defense log. Let's see who is a good opponent. Let's try Alexander maybe. Yeah, sure, why not? So this is a scenario like, this is a usual team comp, and it's really no different from other team comps. Bringing my Baba Yaga wasn't that useful because 2 of the monsters are immune to possession, so I'm just gonna do 2-turn possession. Do I have 2-turn possession? Maybe I was saying, no, I'm gonna, you know what, I'm gonna do total blind. So let me do, or not total blind, I'm gonna do blind to everyone. That way Baba hopefully misses, Soul Piercer, landed on one of my monsters, Spanish Flu, ouch. So, man, and again, this isn't really good battle because it's not showcasing what I want to showcase. What I wanted to showcase is that normally the way battles go, and it's really going to be no difference, is that my monster, if you go first, your denier is still going to deny, and then your attacker is probably going to kill 1 enemy monster or 2 of the enemy monsters. And so what changed? Nothing much. You lose the chance to chain deny, but a lot of times you really don't need to chain deny. Like, I don't know how many battles actually last more than like 3 turns. Not many at all. So the whole losing the ability to chain deny, I really don't think it's that much of an impact. It's just, I'm sorry, it's not. So let's see what happens here. So I'm gonna get stunned. Ouch. Yeah, but yeah, and I hope I can find a battle where I can showcase it. If not, it's all about finding a way to win given the new restrictions, given everything. So I can't chain deny, so what should I do? Well, instead of complaining, let me just look for a different way to win. And I know one of the common themes is that, oh, the game has been like this for so long, they can't just change it. And well, I don't necessarily agree with that. If they want to make a change, they can make a change. They did make a change. If it turns out that a lot of people don't like it, then they probably will go back to how it used to be. But really, I really think this is going to make the game better. Because, especially, I don't know, just from the perspective, from my own experience, the fact, knowing that the enemy can't chain deny me. And again, the best example I had, and I have videos everywhere with this, I faced Kihakus that were faster than me, and they immobilized me for the whole game where I could do nothing. That is no fun. That is super boring. It's the same with Ruby. I fought Ruby where Ruby just immobilized me the whole game thanks to lane odds, thanks to Ruby implosion, explosion. Now the fact that Ruby won't be able to do that back to back, that's kind of refreshing. That's a fresh of breath air. So I do like those changes. As of right now, I am a big fan of them. And again, this change has only been active for 1 day. I haven't noticed anything really. And maybe it's because of the league I'm in, maybe it's because I'm not high up there. But even if you are up, like high up there, I also don't know like how much it really matters. Because, you know, once you're up there, everyone pretty much has the same repetitive monsters. Everyone has the same top tier monsters. So if one person gets hits, basically everyone gets hit. So I don't know, like it's not like one person at the top got extraordinarily disadvantaged with the change. I don't know, I just don't think it's that impactful. I really don't. Let's try fighting this guy and see if I can showcase what I want to showcase. Perfect, kind of. So see, normally this is how battles go. You have a denier that goes first. You deny everyone, ideally. Force Kidnapper. Look, okay, I denied 1. And then you have an attacker, and typically that attacker can kill an enemy monster. So in this case, let me just go for Baroness. Even though I could also go for Isofex, and ideally I should. Best show hits, so Baroness is going to die thanks to Nightmares. This is really, and Possession, this is really how battles go. So it really doesn't matter. Please don't immobilize myself. Thank you. It really doesn't matter that I'm not going to be able to chain possess, because I don't, most of the times, you really don't need to chain immobilize, chain deny, chain anything. Most of the time, you AoE deny, you single target deny, and then your other monsters do the rest. And let's say I would have killed Isofex and he didn't do possession. At the very end, I would have ended off with Baylor doing total blind to immobilize all the enemy team. So, do you see how it's not that impactful? There's no other way to say it. Like, yeah, on surface level, it looks like it's going to have a major impact. It looks like, oh no, my Kihaku's useless now. Oh no, my Ruby's useless, my Copycat's useless. Not really. They're not useless. Now, yeah, they lose a little value, but it really depends. It depends on the league, depends on the runes, depends on everything. But it's not like they're totally worthless. Keep in mind, Monster Legends consists of a game of 3 monsters. You have your main denier, an attacker, a treachery monster. That treachery monster just now needs to be someone like a Rossigon that can remove positive effects from the enemy team if you want to chain deny. But do you really need a chain deny? Most of the times, not really. You really don't. Let me see what I can change. Maybe if I do, let me think. Patient Cyber can cooldowns activated. It's kind of hard doing it on the spot. It might be easier in a Team War scenario. I could fight these guys, so Kihaku, but then Volt. Let me try, I can do Elvira. No, but that's not really an example of using the control skills. Let me think. Maybe Orlando, maybe. Let's scroll down. Anna, maybe. I want a situation where I use Kihaku since people think that Kihaku's terrible. And I'm like, no, Kihaku's not terrible. Did he lose a little value? Sure. Is he terrible? Of course not. Maybe. What do you have? X runes? Ouch. X runes? Ouch. And X runes? Ouch. Do we have any traps? Ooh, no traps. Or none of the traps that I'm fearful of. Alright, let's do this. So let's change. And this also isn't the best example, but we're gonna fight regardless. Let's put you there. Let's put you there. Let's use Elvira. So we'll go Legendary Light. Scroll all the way down. We'll do Kihaku, even though I probably shouldn't. And we'll do, yeah, let's just do Baylor. And this isn't the best example because normally a team defense combination consists of a speed monster, a denier with 3 speed runes, and then they consist of a monster that's an attacker and a team speed monster. And if you can kill the attacker, then honestly the game is pretty much as simple as your main denier is probably going to get 2 turns in before the enemy monster that is an attacker or the one holding the team speed. Your deny monster is going to go twice. So in the case of Kihaku, for example, you can activate your deny skill, your possession and freeze, and then even if they become immune to freeze or whatever, it doesn't really matter because you can use Mokosu to get rid of it, and then you can deny them again. So with certain monsters, if they're so fast enough, if your team combination works, you can still pretty much wreck the enemy. It doesn't work in this case because all of these monsters have speed runes and they're going fast. Look at that. 10,000 speed, 9,000. But normally a monster like Kihaku, like comparing these speeds, that's almost double. If Kihaku had double, I would get 2 turns in before my Baylor. So as you can see, it's going to be Baylor, Kihaku, 3 of the enemies, and then Kihaku again. Those are situations where if I would have killed the typical denier, I would be able to do something. Obviously in this case it doesn't work, but check this out. It kind of did something, but at the same time, given my team combination, I just worked around that fact and I can still deny next turn. So this is what I mean by a lot of time when there's a change, there's a huge overreaction. Everyone only thinks of the worst possible outcome, how the game is ruined, how this, that, and this. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, can we not complain until the change actually happens? Can we play during the change and see what actually happens? Because a lot of times I think people find that it isn't as significant as they thought it originally was. That's at least from my experience from playing a bunch of games, from seeing the community react to certain things. It really is a lot of times just an overreaction. It's never that impactful, or it's never as impactful as people think it's going to be. And again, here's a pretty good example in my opinion. So let's see, what is going on? Self-destruction, thank you very much. And of course you missed. Please do king, don't do small branch. Oh, attack, miss, cool. Alright, so Soul Piercer. And look, see, this is an example where this change should really benefit me. Going against possessed monsters, I should become recently possessed and I shouldn't be getting possessed anymore. So this is a perfect example where it would actually work in my favor. Unfortunately, it's not working in my favor, but it really should. So I think possession is going to take a while before it's actually completely fixed, like freeze and like stun. See, I shouldn't have gotten confused. Why am I getting confused? I was just confused. Man, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But hopefully, again, this video was just to showcase that idea that we shouldn't overreact to things. We should, yeah, think of positives, think of negatives, think of positives, but more importantly, focus on the positive instead of wasting so much time venting and complaining about all these changes, how they ruin your game, how they ruin your life, how everything is blah blah blah. Why don't you just focus on how are you going to benefit from the change? What are you going to do differently because of the change? How are you going to dominate the game now? Because in a world where everyone is just complaining and arguing and whatever, it's so much more useful to do something, to be strategic, to figure out, okay, let's see, now I can't be possessed, or if I do get possessed, I won't be possessed on the next turn, so how can I set up, how can I do this, how can I do that? It's just way more impact, it's more meaningful to do that. So we're gonna wait for the enemy to keep attacking me, and yeah, I guess that's all I really want to say. I wasn't really able to fully demonstrate because of the league I'm in, but yeah, that's basically it for now. And I don't know, maybe you guys have done more battles than me. I did a couple yesterday, I did some today, so maybe you guys have had a different experience where these changes did just ruined everything for you. And again, this is just the second day, so after a week I might have a different opinion, I might not. After 2 weeks my opinion might change. But if it's like any other change in the past, it's rarely ever as impactful as we think it's going to be. So with that being said, I'm Armor Gaming, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.